Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do something a wee bit different than what I normally do, and that is I want to talk about some of the cards that I'm really looking forward to from the Marvel Superheroes set. It is currently spoiler season, so if you do want to try to keep an open mind and not see as many spoilers, I commend that. If you want, you can go ahead and put this video in your watch later and come back to it after the set comes out to see what all are some of the cards I'm going to be looking out for. Those of you who don't really care or are fine being spoiled, go ahead and keep watching. Um, and before we fully get into this, as always, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell. It does help out. It helps to encourage me to continue making these videos. And in the comments down below, let me know. Are you looking forward to this set? Yes or no? But with that being said, let's get into the video. So one of the caveats I kind of want to make about this video is I am a huge superhero fan. I am a huge comic book fan. Literally right there on my shelf, you can see a whole bunch of Marvel comics. There's also a shelf right off screen where I have a bunch of different volumes, including like She-Hulk, for example. But um, so I am very much looking forward to this set. I really should not have done this. Just gonna set that down. I am looking forward to this set, and this was the kind of set I was really looking forward to and excited for whenever Marvel and Magic announced back in 21, 22 that they were going to do a collaboration coming out, last year. I will say, as I have said in the video of going over my ranking of the sets of last year, Spider-Man was a huge disappointment. And so far, from all the spoilers I've seen, I do think the Marvel superhero set is going to be a lot better. Now, I do understand, scrolling online, there's a lot of hate that these universes beyond sets get, and I'm not going to try to talk down on those. The only thing I will say is some of the arguments borderline on feeling gatekeepy. And it's hard to properly explain, but like I'm a person that what got me back into Magic was the Assassin's Creed set. And now I'm hugely into Magic, full tilt. So you have to acknowledge that there is a part of the universes beyond sets that can bring in new people so that they can also enjoy this game that you love. On top of that, I want to say it would be incredibly helpful to keep in mind that if you are overly critical and are just pure hate train on this without really trying to give it any consideration, it doesn't help Magic at all, because it does make it again seem like you're gatekeeping the game from people if you're not enjoying it in the specific way that you want to. But that's just my opinion on it, because yes, I do think this year there's way too many Universes Beyond sets, and I think having way too many does cause an issue. But I think there's a way you can verbalize that argument that doesn't come out as just, I hate everything that I'm seeing. This sucks. This is ruining the game that I love. I never want to see this again. If you play these cards at my table, I'll hate you for life. Not saying there's people actually saying that, and who knows? Twitter is not always the best thermometer to understand how people feel, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. That little blurb before I get into looking at some of the cards. And basically what I am going to be doing is just pulling up the Scryfall on this video to show and highlight the cards that I'm really looking forward to. So let's look at them. Boink. So here we have, this is just sorted by when these spoilers were announced and that kind of thing. One of the cards just right out the get-go I'm really excited for is Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because I feel like this is going to be really fun to make like a here, I'll pull it up so that you could make a good fun hero deck, whether you want to do like a gr- deck that is splashing green, or as we'll get to later, doing a Nick Fury deck where you're having Wooberg involved. We also have Jane Foster Thor, which is going to be a fun card to add into like your Secret Layer Captain America deck, where you can, have a lot of equipments going on. And don't worry, we will get to that. I love that, but if you know, we'll get to it. Don't worry. We also have this card that I find is a fun uncommon, due to the fact that this might not be how it works, but with like the Secret Layer Wolverine where he deals double damage, I feel this could double the damage, so he would be dealing quad damage, maybe. I don't know if that is how that would work, but I feel like this would be a fun card to add into your like Wolverine commander deck if you're having them. Um we also have the Cosmic Cube. I do like these cards, and I will be trying to collect this whole scene because it gives me such amazing nostalgia because it reminds me of this Marvel Comics encyclopedia I had where it had all the different characters just like punching each other's villains. It's great. But Cosmic Cube, I feel, is going to be a fun card to have into my Ishin deck because, it does whenever you attack, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast a spell from among them with mana value less than or equal to the greatest power among attacking creatures you control without paying its mana cost. Going to be great in damn near any of your attack decks. Also have one of our first mutants that aren't, Storm or Wolverine of Beast. Good old I had it and I lost it. Oh no. Oh my, Hank McCoy. God, wow. I lost his name for a moment. But this is fun because, Beast is an Avenger. He was an Avenger. Yes, he was an X-Men. Most people are going to know him as an X-Men, but during a point in, I think it was the 70s, maybe 80s, he was a titular member of the Avengers. We also have Castle Doom, which is going to be a banger card to put in any of your artifact decks because, can tap for any mana to cast an artifact spell, and you can then sacrifice artifacts to create robots, which is great. Riri, Ironheart. Then we have the card I'm 100% going to be chasing to the best of my abilities, Jennifer Walters. As I just showed, I have She-Hulk comics. I can show you my shelf. I have a few She-Hulk comics. She's one of my favorite Marvel heroes. Yes, I even enjoyed her TV show to an extent, but I will be 100% trying to get her, and she is going to be a commander deck I want to try to build, which might just be mostly doing like hero stuff. But one of the things I love about her is she is one of the cards that I very much enjoy of my turn is my own. You do not play anything on my turn. This is my turn. And we even have her flip. She's like your Miles, Gwen, Peter, Norman, or Eddie Brock from the Spider-Man set, where they have a cheaper side where it's just the normal person. Then you can flip or cast them for that, I believe. I believe that would be the case for this as well, where you can cast it for the hero side. But the other side of good old She-Hulk is reach, trample, and when a creature you control is dealt damage, you may have She-Hulk deal that much damage to any target. That I love that from the standpoint of she breaks the fourth wall, so I could see that as like doing something along the lines of, hey, you just hurt a friend I like, let me just reach around and just punch you in the face by jumping across the white space. I will have one tiny little nitpick. This is just me as a person that is a comic book fan first and foremost. I don't like that her name signature card, the art is done by Trevor Hairsine. It's not that I don't think he is a good artist. I don't think she works with his art. There's a specific artist that they do have for this set that would have worked so much better, in my opinion. And if you're also a comic book reader like I am, you probably know Trevor Hairsine from the Deceased series. That will be just the easiest thing to recognize him from. But those are really fun. Also have Sam Wilson Cap, which is going to be a fun card to put into your like hero deck, or as I might do, try to put into my Ishin deck. We have this beautiful monstrosity that my girlfriend will 100% be trying to build a commander deck around because of this horrific thing of ward get 5 poison counters. Mwah! I love the Serpent Society. So great. We also have a card that I'm really excited for. Mullman. Good ol' Harry Elder. Harvey Elder. Yes. I love him because of what a fun way to incorporate him, of him being a landfall deck. Of just having him be a huge landfall thing where you play a land, you get a Moloid, and then it mills a card to where you can also then play cards from your graveyard. I love it. Also have Storm. This, I love these signature cards. As mentioned, those are so gorgeous. I love him. This is the artist I would have so much preferred you put for She-Hulk instead of Trevor Hairsine. Terry and Rachel Dodson are just perfect whenever it comes to drawing female characters. They are just amazing, and this art is gorgeous, and I would have loved to have seen She-Hulk with that art instead. We have some of these cards returning from the Spider-Man set, where it's a card that you can you can only get in collector boosters, I believe. I don't know. I can't remember. But it's the card is incorporating the like an actual comic book cover to become the art for the card. I love those so much. I have a tiny nitpick of the fact that you have 2 different Nick Furies, but they're the exact same Nick Fury. Again, this is me, comic book fan, coming out. This is, if we're doing 616, which is the main Marvel comic universe, these 2 are actual Nick Fury. Nick Fury in the comics is white. Again, if we were still doing main Marvel universe, this Nick Fury, that's Nick Fury Jr. Or Ultimate Nick Fury from the original Ultimate Universe, which is the one that looks like Samuel Jackson. It's just my little nitpick. It doesn't matter at all. It's just me as the comic book nerd. We also have Ares, God of War, which is 100% going to be going into my Ishin deck because, you know, being able to bounce my attacking creatures back to my hand if they do die is just great. We also have the Super Soldier Serum. I like what it is doing of enchanted creatures, giving it +2/+2 first strike and vigilance, and, you know, having it do something that has to do with like attacks or blocks and being able to attach equipments to it, which is again going to be going great in your Captain America Secret Lair deck where that's what he was. We also have Miss Marvel, good old Kamala Khan, which I just love. Great character. I love her in the MCU. Aman Vellani, mwah, chef's kiss, amazing. I have another nitpick. Mr. Comic Book Fan coming in yet again. Please stop mentioning she's a mutant. Most people don't like that at all. She's an inhuman. Like, anyway, but this is just fun. I love it. Got good old Fing Fang Foom. Classic Marvel villain. Here we have Captain America's Shield, art by Jim Chung and J. David Ramos, which I love that guy's art. I also love this equipment of, you know, giving your creature more toughness and vigilance and having it do something of an attack trigger. I think that's perfect. Da-da-da-da-dum. So one of the new things in this set, we'll go back up here to Hercules, is the power up feature, which works a lot like Exhaust. Of you can only cast it once for your creatures. Of when it while it's out, you can only do it once, never do it again. Exhaust from Aether Drift. I'm not a huge fan of it. That's just my personal opinion. Also got Daredevil. Here's 4 different mats, which is great. Here's other cards I love. It is the new land cycles that I think are just going to be great staples to incorporate into any of your decks because of being able to just get more dual color lands is never bad. We have the good old classic Wrecking Crew. Here's the uncommon Captain America, an actual Nazi, Mr. Fantastic. I love the different full arts for this set. I love that we have one that is all combat focused and then the other that is just peaceful superhero stuff, and then all the combat ones are done by the same artist. Same thing with all the peaceful ones. Um, ba 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 ba. We have this card, which I think is going to be some people's chase cards outside of, the actual Mind Stone, because it's a squirrel card that a lot of people in Magic love squirrel decks, and this is going to just be a perfect card to slot into all those decks. I know for certain this is going to be my girlfriend's chase card, as mentioned, because she loves squirrel decks. She has 2. She has the Hazel precon and then a Chatterfang precon. We have Thor, God of Thunder. Don't know why it's not letting me click. That's weird. Just fun. We have Doctor Doom, Captain Marvel. We have the Sentry, the Arc Reactor. This is another thing I really love flavor-wise. So we have Human Torch, Invisible Woman, Mr. Fantastic, and The Thing. If you have all 4 of them out, they go infinite off of each other. I love that as a flavor-wise. That's just so perfect. We also have Mjolnir, and I've seen some people making jokes of what Worthy is, but I don't know how else you would want people to actually go about having Worthy be a thing without it being able to be used by other creatures, because I know I've seen people making light of oh, so as long as it doesn't have villain in its creature type, it can wield it. So that means Vagelvoth or Elish Norn can wield it. And I don't know. It's just one of those where I'm like, I get it, but would you prefer it to be if it has Thor in his name, you can wield it? I don't know. But those are basically a lot of the cards that I'm really excited for. I want to quickly look. Oh, we also have the Coming of Galactus, which I think is perfect. I can't wait to try to get a Galactus token, because that's just going to be really fun to have. Go to source material now. Here's what I was talking about earlier of briefly mentioning it. I like that they have made the bonus sheet include the secret layers. Of if you weren't able to get the secret layers from Marvel from 2 years ago, you can then be able to pull it. I think that's amazing. That's such a great idea, and I will happily commend them for it, because that's just perfect. No notes. I love it. Plus, being able to get these cards with actual comic book art on it, even better. That's what I prefer. As usual, these are some of my favorite cards of the set, because I just love being able to have comic book art. This is one I'm 100% going to be trying to go for, because the John Byrne She-Hulk run is just amazing. It can be crude at times, but I love the art from it. It's great. But that is basically the main things I wanted to talk about whenever it comes to the Marvel set. I know this video is a lot longer than my normal videos. It's also a bit more rambly, but at the exact same time, I just wanted to have some fun and be able to show a lot of the cards if you haven't been seeing it, and just share my interest for it because I am really excited for this set. And looking at these cards, it makes me more excited that it's not going to hopefully suck like Spider-Man did, because Spider-Man really was disappointing to me, and I know that was a lot of people's least favorite set of the year. But that's basically all I really wanted to talk about today. As mentioned, be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed my content. Subscribe and hit the bell. I'm trying my best to be a lot better about doing videos more frequently, but I can't promise much. I struggle with, um, coming up with video ideas, but I'm going to be trying to do a decent amount of content with this set as a comic book fan with my Beta Ray Bill shirt and my Doctor Doom pin, my Marvel 80 hat, all the things. But that's it. See y'all in the next video. I'm going to be back with a lot of Marvel stuff. So, see ya. Bye.